welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's Wednesday night, you know exactly where I am. So let me check my mic, be sure the red light is on and I am not on mute. I'm Dr. Twanna, and today we are talking about the 10 secrets to break free of the perfectionist trap. I'm so thrilled that you're joining me today because, again, we're focusing on those 10 secrets that you can use to break free of that perfectionist trap. So, before we get started, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you don't miss any of our empowering content. So, without further ado, we're talking about the 10 secrets to break free of the perfectionist trap. So, the first thing is that you have to understand is that perfectionism is a sneaky saboteur, right? It's sneaky. It is a sneaky saboteur. So, it's really important to understand what perfectionism really is. It's not just about wanting everything to be perfect. What it really is about is setting impossibly high standards for ourselves, just impossible standards. Well, we can't reach them so high that, it leads, ultimately, it leads to stress and it leads to imposter syndrome. It leads to procrastination and eventually exhaustion because you're turning your wheels over and over and over and over, trying to figure out how can I be more perfect? Just literally sometimes driving yourself crazy, right? Have you ever found yourself where it's just me? Just a little disclosure here. Is it just me? Have you ever found yourself agonizing over every single little detail? Right? I know I have. You're actually not alone. I have been there. When I was a W 2 employee, I used to hire people to write my resume. Now, I write resumes. I've written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resumes, got all kinds of people hired. But when it came to mine, no, I had to hire someone to write my resume because it would take me weeks and weeks and weeks to get one resume. Like, I was like, oh, there's extra space there. Let me take that space out. Oh, I should move this over here. Maybe it looks better. It was that perfectionist. And that's why I ended up, just let me have someone else write this and so I can get the resume done and actually apply for the job. Anybody else out there like that, or is it just me? It's okay. We can just all confess here today. I won't tell anybody if you don't tell anybody. I promise you, I won't tell a soul. I won't tell a soul. So let's go ahead and dive into the 10 secrets to overcoming that perfectionism, right? And these secrets are designed to help you navigate and break these limiting behaviors because that's what they are. They're limiting behaviors. You literally are setting yourself up. You're self-sabotaging and setting yourself up for failure over and over and over. So, number one, recognize the tendencies. Identify when perfectionism, those perfectionist tendencies arise and really pay attention to what triggers them, right? My thing was I had a inferiority complex. So I felt that everybody was smarter than me, better than me, richer than me, better looking than me, whatever it was. They were all better than me. So my thought was if I can just make everything perfect, I will be equal to everybody else. It was a fool's errand, obviously, but that was my thought process. And that was me recognizing what triggers those perfectionistic tendencies. Number two, set realistic goals. Once you realize what you're doing and what's triggering it, set realistic goals. Focus on achievable, realistic goals that can be completed and done, right? You want to set goals or intentions, break them down to bite-sized chunks, and focus on getting them done instead of them being perfect, right? It's better to get them done. And I had that, that was one of the mantras that I had taped above my desk when I was working on my PhD. Done is better than perfect. And I had to remind myself of that. Every time I want to move something, put it in, slide it over, do whatever. Done is better than perfect. It's just better for it to be done versus it being perfect. Because you can do done over and over and over and over again, right? But you can't do perfect because it doesn't exist. Number three, do embrace imperfection. Accept and say to yourself over and over again, just over and over again, I am perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. Right? You put that in the chat. So I want you to get that, really, really get that so that you remember that. When we talk about accepting or embracing, imperfection, it is about telling yourself over and over and over again. Let me go over here to my comments so you can see it. Put it in the right place. Right? It is. I am perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. Just, you have to say that to yourself over and over and over again for it to start to sink in and you build that habit. I'm perfectly imperfect, and that's absolutely okay. Nobody, no harm, no foul. Perfectly imperfect, right? And that's what you start to do so that you train yourself to, instead of seeking perfection, seek for it to be done. I just need this to be done, right? Number four, do practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, just as you would a friend, just as you would looking over at a friend, like, you know what, this is never going to be perfect. You got to be okay with getting this done. You got to practice that same self-compassion for yourself. Give yourself space and grace. Picture yourself. Now, some folks have problems, practicing self-compassion. Now, they can give compassion to other people easily, but it's tougher for themselves. And so, Shirzad Shamin was the first person that I heard to say this. Find a picture of yourself, preferably younger than 5 years old. Younger than 10 is good, but if you can really find one where you're younger than 5, look at your picture, because guess what? That 5-year-old is still inside of you. You're just all grown up on the outside, but that 5-year-old is still there. We tend to have compassion for children, right? And so when you look at yourself in a picture younger than 5, you can start to develop compassion for yourself and remind yourself that that little person, it's still there. She's still there. He's still there, right? Number 5, do seek support. It's not a journey that you need to complete alone. Get all the support that you need. Professional coach can really help you with accountability and strategies so that when you feel stuck because you're trying to tease apart every single thing and make it perfect, we can actually help you with accountability and give you those strategies to help you get unstuck. And number 6 is oh so important. Celebrate your wins. You gotta celebrate those things, right? Because otherwise you get up there, you're trying to be perfect and just running through, just turning. No, stop and celebrate the wins. Get that dopamine hit. It feels good when you get that dopamine hit. Then focus on your successes, no matter how small they are, because that helps you to build momentum to get things done. Not perfect, to get them done. Okay. And number 7, don't hesitate to step out of your comfort zone. Take on new challenges that push the boundaries, but not all at the same time. And I'm going to have to admit again, I don't know why. It's just that when I decide to do something, especially in my business, I end up taking like 4 or 5 projects at one time. No, don't do that. That's why I have 4 coaches. I love Jared. Jared is one of my coaches, and he always asks me, Jared Paul, he's like, what are you not going to do? And that's a cue for me to not do it all at one time. It's okay to step out of your comfort zone, but not do everything all at once, because that would trigger that perfectionistic trap that you get settled into. And then you get analysis paralysis, where you can't do anything because you feel trapped because there's so much to do at one time, right? And then number 8, do practice positive self-talk, right? Replace criticism with positive self-talk, and replace that inner critical voice as well with supportive, affirming language. And you can use affirmations like those that are found in my affirmations journal, the melanated magic, 180 affirmations to nurture your soul and unleash your black girl joy, right? You can get that journal has 180 in there. So when you hear that inner critical voice start to talk to you and you're beating yourself up with all that negative self-talk, practice positive self-talk. You got to practice it. It's like a muscle. You got to practice it until it becomes habit. Because right now, your habit is to be negative to yourself. It's to self-sabotage yourself with all the critical, and you could have done this, and you must be stupid. This is not good enough. Those voices that they're around. I granted, mine used to be really, really strong. They're not so much now because I've made it a habit to practice that positive self-talk. And number 9, visualize success. Regularly, literally close your eyes and visualize yourself being successful. Visualize yourself achieving your goals. It is a potent motivator. And I'm telling you, it really works because you're building those neural pathways and you're finding ways to success, right? And then number 10 is important as well. Yeah, I said I was going to give you 10. Well, here's number 10. Develop coping strategies. Find healthy ways to manage your stress and bounce back from setbacks. Because when you get stressed, it does tend to trigger your perfectionistic self, right? So you want to practice healthy ways, right, to overcome stress and make sure you're getting your rest. And things like, getting the 7 types of rest that Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith talks about in the 7 types of rest, those are important. If you want to see me do a video on that, drop rest in the comments and I'll do a video on that. But definitely you want to get those 7 types of rest because managing stress is the best thing you can do to help you stay out of that perfectionistic trap, right? And guess what? That's not all. I know I said I was going to give you 10. I did give you 10, but that's not all. I have a question. Why do you think you need to break the perfectionistic trap? Why do you need to break it? Like, what's the big deal anyway? Well, here's the reason why. I'm going to pop it in here. You know what? Let's put it in the comments so everybody can see it. So the reason why you do want to practice, right, breaking that perfectionistic track is because one of the biggest ways that perfectionism holds us back is it erodes our confidence. Little by little, it just erodes our confidence. So that's why, when we self-sabotage, we're setting ourselves up for failure. It just torpedoes our self-esteem. And you probably met folks who are self-sabotaging, who are so critical of themselves. And you probably looked over and like, this person is really talented. They're extremely smart, very intelligent, but they don't think it. And you can see it in how they carry themselves and how they walk and how they talk. Each time we set unrealistic standards and attempt to live by these unrealistic codes, our self-confidence is undermined. Every time we do that, little by little, until we're left with just about none, in some cases, none, right? I see this a lot when my clients come in and they know they're qualified for the job, but they can't just get over that hump and apply for it because they've lost confidence. So they spent so many years self-sabotaging, right? So by setting achievable goals and embracing imperfection, we do start to rebuild that confidence and reduce the power of perfectionism over us. And did you know that with these tools, we also cultivate resilience? Resilience is just as important as confidence. Confidence comes from recognizing our progress, not from achieving perfection, but getting things done, getting stuff done, right? And so, like that one. To strengthen our resilience, we have to prioritize self-care and adaptability. Be flexible. Not everything is going to be perfect. Of course it isn't, but it also isn't going to happen in the manner in which you want it to happen, right? Support networks are essential because they provide you with that encouragement, and then they help give you some perspective. And again, that's what coaching does as well. which is really important when you're stressed and you're feeling doubt. Keep pushing yourself to adapt and thrive in changing consequences, right? And so let's go ahead and wrap it up. So when we embrace perfectionism, we build confidence, we cultivate resilience, right? And so as we wrap it up, remember that overcoming perfectionism is about shifting the mindset so that you can embrace life's perfections and get stuff done. That's the most important thing. Get stuff done, right? And it allows you to let go of that fear of making a mistake, fear of being wrong, in some cases even fear of succeeding, right? And instead see each point, right? See each as a stepping stone towards greater success. So imagine how successful you could be if you stepped out of that perfectionistic trap and embrace your true potential. Really visualize for a moment the achievements and the growth waiting for you on the other side of those self-imposed barriers. Ready to start this journey? If you are, click the link, and it is in the description, and it'll also be in the comments below. Click that link and book a 30-minute career solution call with me. Let's work together to help you unlock your full potential, right? So that's what I have for you today. I will see you on the next video. Same time, same place. Next week, I'll be coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. So all of you in Phoenix, I am on the way. I'm going to spend about a month in Phoenix visiting with my dad. That's why I love being location independent, so I can just pick up and move anywhere I want to go. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.